Hello, welcome back to A Boring Revolution, your number one news source for everything in regards to the Boring Company. Welcome back for another episode. So, I was busy browsing on YouTube, and I noticed a video popped up about maglev trains. And I thought to myself, you know what? Maglev trains are quite interesting. I'll have a look at this. And I looked at it, and as soon as the video had started, near enough in the first 20 seconds, I heard a criticism of the Boring Company. A video not even talking about the Boring Company. And in the title, near enough in the first 10 seconds, it's criticising the Boring Company. It's attacking the Boring Company. It's basically going after Elon Musk, using his name to get basically clicks. And I thought to myself, what a load of crap, yeah? I'm fed up with people posting these garbage videos talking about how amazing rail is. Yeah, rail, so amazing, it's brilliant. Well, why has it been failing for the last 70 years? At least maybe 80 years. The last 80 years it's been a complete and utter failure. And there's one person specifically out there who continually keeps kissing the arse of rail and attacking Elon Musk and the Boring Company. And it's got to that stage where I thought, you know what? I can't let it slide now. I'm going to do a video talking about why rail is a constant failure. Maybe you want to stop the video now and just avoid the obvious truth that rail will fail unless it is absolutely pumped full of money. It has so many disadvantages. You need to open your eyes, people. And the person that keeps talking about rail as though it is the Trinity, it is the number one fantastic thing in the world, is this guy, a rail shill called Gareth Dennis. Unfortunately, he's produced so many videos now, so many daft comments on Twitter, that we're just going to have to do an episode talking about why rail is an utter, complete disaster full of bankrupt companies, accidents, and unprofitable entities. He's very selective, Gareth, with the facts. Thus, he fails to mention the various issues with the railway. And trust me, the railway, it doesn't matter where you look, Europe, South America, the USA, even in Asia, has got many issues. Amtrak, look at that, has not made a profit for 32 years, pumped full of money. Like any good salesman, Gareth Dennis forgets to talk about the small print, and it's fairly obvious. Rail doesn't make money. It's given money via the government, billions and billions of pounds, billions of dollars. They pump out plans for how they're going to make money, how they're going to progress, how they're going to improve the service, and still, they don't make money, even if they move more passengers. And the reason for that is cost efficiency versus energy efficiency. And the two are very different. And the only thing that matters with mass transit is the cost efficiency of the system. Railways rarely make money. They are 96% of the time, they are loss makers. The only system that I can think of that is quite impressive is the underground in Hong Kong. One hell of a fantastic system. But if you look at all the railways in the UK, every single one in the USA, they are pretty much guaranteed to make a loss. Guaranteed. Gareth Dennis relies heavily on 4 core assumptions. And these assumptions are basically stupid. Yeah? Never, ever make assumptions. Yeah? Not all systems are going to operate the same way. And that is why certain systems make big losses and other systems make tiny profits. Which still isn't impressive, but, you know, they point to that as though some kind of, it's amazing that this railway system made a profit of 10 million this year when it's moving thousands and thousands of passengers every single hour. It's pathetic. This is the one big assumption. Trains are over 90% full for 10 hours a day. Very rarely, unless you're talking about the London Underground, that is not the case. Certainly trains around here, you know, when you get to about 7:30, yeah, in the evening, the trains are basically empty. Less than 4 or 5 people in each carriage. It's just not going to make any money moving something that heavy with so few people on it. The trains stop every 4,000 to 22,000 meters, yeah? Trains stop way too often. They have to stop, they have to wait, the engine's still going. They then have to move this huge heavy lump of metal using these massively inefficient diesel engines. It's just not going to be good for the air quality and for the efficiency of the train if it has to stop every 800, 900, 1500 meters, and it certainly does. That train station over there is literally 900 meters from another train station at Bromley Cross. Yeah, it has to keep stopping all the time. It's not efficient. Trains are very old. Certainly in this country, maybe in some other countries they've recently bought some new rolling stock, but certainly in the USA, certainly in the UK, certainly in Ireland, certainly in Africa and South America, incredibly old engines, worn out motors, very inefficient. A train is averaging 36 miles per hour per route. With all the stop and starting, with all the curves, with all the waiting at stations, with the slow acceleration, 36 miles per hour is very difficult, especially with all the old trains. It's not going to be efficient. It takes forever to complete a route. It can take an hour and 40 minutes to complete a route. It's just not efficient. It's not efficient if you're only averaging 34, 32 miles per hour. Even if you're averaging 40 miles per hour, it's still not that great. Really not that great, guys. Now, why do the railways fail? They are badly run. 95% of the time, they are so badly run that even, look at this, in the UK, the number of rail passengers is growing, and it's growing quite quickly, yet we still have operators like South Western Rail and Northern Rail going bankrupt. Amtrak has almost gone bankrupt twice. It's had to be bailed out by the US government, and they make a laughable gross margin of just 1.85% on average per ticket that they sell. 1.85%. It's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Commuter trains are government subsidised. Even in this country where we have the franchise system, the government still subsidises the railway. And still we have companies going under, going bankrupt, offering a poor service and making terrible gross margins. So we inject some £5 billion every year into the railways in England. The trains are old. This is why they fail. So many old trains, and no one wants to replace them because the operators know that they can't afford to replace them. And these trains are breaking down all the time, have massive lists of maintenance requirements. They're constantly in for maintenance, constantly parts are failing. This Pacer train retired after 32 years. That's the same age as me. 32 years. It's insane. Absolutely insane. Also, 42% of the railways in the UK are electric. The other 58% are diesel. Diesel engines, not good, guys. Not good. So, in year one, they're around 33% efficient. After 20 years, we're getting close to around 29.5% efficient. Massively wasteful, massively worn out. They keep these trains going. They're becoming more and more inefficient, more and more air pollution. They are becoming more costly to run. Therefore, the railways are super inefficient. The Tesla AC induction electric motors are 92.6% efficient versus this old piece of garbage, which is around 29-30% efficient. It's no good. Running a train with 10 or less passengers, which happens quite a lot in the UK and quite a lot in the US as well, is very inefficient. You have this huge heavy train, next to no one is inside of it. We're talking tons and tons of steel. It's having to stop and start at all these stations, which are very close together. It's inefficient. It's also time inefficient, energy inefficient. It's just not going to work. Yeah, And that engine is still running while that train is stopped at that station for 30 seconds, waiting for passengers to get on and off. Again, there's huge inefficiencies in the way these systems operate because the train stations are often too close together. And here's the biggie. Here's the one that Gareth Dennis keeps forgetting to tell you. Even though he is actually very critical to this part, this is basically his job, is maintaining the railways, adapting the railways, improving the railways. Yeah? Maintaining railway is very, very expensive. It never ends. It continues as the system gets older. You have to do it more often. Yet the cost of maintenance keeps on increasing. And that's not just inflation. That is the fact that it costs more and more to pay someone to do this work, to work in a safe manner. It's getting more and more expensive. And that cost is passed on to the tickets, and therefore very, very cost inefficient. So there you go. Those are the big, big problems of the railway. Now, could they be fixed? Potentially, but we'd have to invest billions and billions of pounds every single year, electrifying the entire network, adjusting the distance between train stations, installing new track, brand new rolling stock. It's not going to happen. This government is never, ever going to invest that kind of percentage increase into the UK rail industry. In the USA, it's even less likely to happen. But the Boring Company and the autonomous electric vehicles it intends to use in its tunnels have massive core advantages over trains. It's not even close. Not even close. Yeah? What are these advantages? 100% autonomous vehicles. It's actually easier to make a train 100% autonomous, but the rail industry is very, very behind the times in terms of technology. They're not interested in that. They have too many other problems. Therefore, that equals low overheads. Electric drivetrain is super energy efficient. As we see, the AC induction motor via Tesla is 92.6% efficient. That is passed on into the price of tickets. Again, very cost efficient. Platoons are a massive advantage. You cannot run trains in platoons. You need to run at least a gap of almost a kilometre in between trains, especially when they're running at high speeds. Our autonomous electric vehicles can run with a gap of literally 10 inches in between units, creating these platoons up to 20 cars in length, hyper efficient cost per mile, massively reduction in the air drag on the vehicles, makes them super efficient, cost per mile super low. Now, I am going to do another video about this, but by creating a very efficient concrete road deck and polishing that concrete and sealing it, you will reduce the coefficient of friction of the road, make it almost half as much as a tarmac road, and then super efficient for vehicles to cruise along when you have a polished concrete road deck, further driving down the cost efficiency, further driving up the efficiency of the system for the Boring Company with polished concrete road decks. High speeds, we can operate these vehicles up to 155 miles per hour, although it'll probably be around 120, 140 miles per hour, that kind of area. It means that you can use vehicles multiple times during the hour, maybe up to 8 times per hour for different sets of passengers. This means each vehicle can make you more money, therefore it is more cost effective, more productive routes. Pods only hold 16 people. That is what we want. We don't want more than that. We don't want to be a train. Trains are inefficient when they're only holding like 10, 8, 7 people, because you've got a huge 50-ton steel box that has to accelerate and stop every 2 miles. It's not efficient. We're not going to be stopping every 2 miles. We're going to be stopping when we need to stop only, not at every station. In fact, there won't be any stations. There'll just be ramps. And we can use thousands of pods. It's super efficient, and they can be run in platoons. And of course, the big boy, the one that kicks the rail industry's arse. We are not diesel powered. We are not dirty diesel. We're not using inefficient engines. We are using 100% renewable power, sunlight and wind power, super low. Tesla can provide this energy at a very, very low cost, almost a third the cost of the grid. So super cheap, very low fares. That equates to super cost efficiency. Therefore, rail will never, ever compete with the Boring Company just on that one point, 100% renewable power. And that will be almost from day one because there's plenty of sunlight and Tesla makes solar panels. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this very, very awesome video. I hope that Gareth Dennis can learn a bit from the video and potentially stop with the stupid criticisms of the Boring Company and accept that the rail industry is going to be absolutely torn to shreds over the next 30 years unless it invests very, very heavily. I think...
Something went wrong. Try again in a few seconds.
Thank you very much, Alexa. And that's the end of for me. So thank you very, very much. On to